Funding now on Indiegogo, it's Shadowbinders, our second chance offer to get 2 hardcovers of our classic webcomic delivered to your door. Steampunk, fantasy, and romantic comedy from Clownfish Comics. Go to Indiegogo, check out the link in the description below. Now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the media needs to stop telling fans who they are.
Yeah, no, I'm getting tired of this. So I did this article today on Pirates and Princesses, and I marked it as opinion because it's my opinion. But I am so tired of like Disney and Lucasfilm and Marvel and Hollywood and the media telling fans who they are based on their biases.
Yeah, there's been some weirdness lately with journalists, weirder than normal. But look, we've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now. And for the longest time, it was Trump, 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 Trump. In the last couple of months, since Trump is out of office, and you really can't complain about him anymore because he's out of office, now it seems like their sights are set on fans.
Well, they were before.
Specifically.
They've been for a while now, but it's going back to that again. And I'm just tired of it. It's like, you don't, like we saw an article today, and it was all over the place. I don't think we pulled it up. But it was basically at WandaVision, and they were talking about how people were mad because they didn't get their fan theories. And it wasn't the one from Inverse, it was a different one. But it read like parody, because I'm like, this isn't a real article. And then you had the Inverse one where they're saying that basically it's The Last Jedi, which it's not. And they're comparing things. And then they have, like this one, racist trolls think they own Star Wars.
And then this one.
They're mad about the Lola Bunny.
Yeah, I just did a screen cap of this, and it got like over 2,000 likes.
Right, because don't you know, that's their new take. I don't know if you noticed this, but I've noticed it on several other things we talked about. They keep marking conservatives. Conservatives are ones that are behind cancel culture. Conservatives don't like Lola Bunny. Here's the thing, how they did Lola Bunny. I'm not conservative, and I've been calling this out. I know a lot of people who aren't conservative, and they've been calling out. I know a lot of people who are conservative that have been calling it out. It's just, you should just put people once aren't okay with it. Because I'm so tired of if someone doesn't agree with their opinion, it's automatically because they're conservative because they said so.
Well, that's it. The goalpost has moved. Before it was about, Trump, 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 and now that he's gone, now we're shifting it over to the blanket term of conservatives. Now, what we're finding is that everybody who isn't a far left activist in their eyes is a quote unquote conservative.
Right.
So we're talking like all of middle America, all of, it's moving.
Like 80% of the people. And then you have to remember too, there's people who don't like it that aren't even Americans.
Yeah. Yeah. Something is up. And this might actually have something to do with it. Today, they announced that BuzzFeed is going to cut the hell out of the Huffington Post, which they bought a couple of months ago, dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see a lot of these websites fold because they were propped up with venture capital for years. A lot of them, sites like the Mary Sue basically got by on, Trump outrage posts, mostly with a little bit of pop culture, but mostly it was about Trump outrage. And with him out of office, I even hear trending, Trump, with him out of office, the well is going to dry up.
While I was sitting here laughing, did they lay them off by saying 5 reasons you're fired? Just like, here's a listicle.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about your article first, and then we'll move on to what's going on in journalism. I'm using air quotes. You can't see it because it's basically just a bunch of paid Tumblr bloggers.
I mean, there wasn't much else I said. I just people are getting tired of, even if you have a valid opinion about why you don't like something, and it's not because, they automatically immediately say it's because you're racist or you're misogynist or something bullshit like that, no matter what your reason is. I didn't like the way that they animated that sequence. Well, that's just because you're a misogynist. But it had nothing to do with men. Doesn't matter. You're a misogynist. You're a troll. I mean, they kept telling people who didn't like The Last Jedi it was because they didn't like strong women. And they were misogynists and they were racist. Meanwhile, John Boyega was the one character, Finn was what people wanted to see, and they wouldn't do it. They refuse to do it. They go on about you being racist. Meanwhile, the Star Wars official, Twitter account won't wish James Earl Jones a happy birthday.
Yeah, I think everybody's freaking out because they know that it is changing. A lot of these people can't build anything. They just usurp. And we're starting to see now the numbers that people are leaving. In the case of Star Wars, we've talked about before, the YouTube channel dropping off in views. Big time.
Yeah.
People are losing interest in these media outlets, what Hollywood's pushing, and they can't mind that Trump outrage anymore.
We've seen it with comics. We've seen it with, movies. We've seen it with shows. And the media, Hollywood and the media are behind like 90% of it. Because they want to control this narrative. They want to control, if people aren't falling into line, their go-to is let's bully them by calling them names. Like now conservatives is the new bad word apparently. Calling them names until they go along with what we say.
Yeah.
You have to label people, whether it's true or not, to bully them into submission. And I'm tired of it. And like what Wanda said is like, I don't need you to tell me who I am. And that's just what I think people are getting to the place where they're just like tired of the media and, Lucasfilm and, Hollywood in general, always telling people that if you don't vote this way, you're this type of person. If you don't think this way, you're this type of person. If you don't agree with all these changes we're making for your own good, quote unquote, you're this bad kind of person. And it's so much easier for them to actually lump people into these labels than it is to actually have a discussion.
Yeah, because it worked for years, and people were afraid for years. They were like, oh my God, I don't want to be one of the bad people. Oh my God, I didn't know I was a bad guy. I better like this tweet. I better say these things. Now people are like, it doesn't matter what the fuck I do. They're still going to try to cancel me. They'll just cancel me later.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
And when they run out of conservatives, whatever the buzzword is that they're trying to label everybody with today, they're going to turn on each other because that's what they always do.
Well, during the primaries, I remember people saying, moderates were a bigger problem than somebody that picked a side.
Yeah, they did. It was the AOC said that. Actually.
Yeah, I was like, you're just as bad. You're actually worse because you tricked us into thinking you might be on our side, but you're actually not.
But like you said, it doesn't matter. I think the majority of people are in the middle. Either you lean left, you lean right, but you're conservative. You're conservative or liberal, but in the middle. Like, you're not like full on extremes on either side. I almost hit you in the face. Sorry.
That's okay.
My hands went out and his head was right there, and I almost.
Help me. She slaps me often.
No, I don't. You better clarify that.
She doesn't.
Anyway.
She does. I like it.
It's pretty bad. I'm going to tell you to clarify that. Anyway. I'm just like, I'm just tired of it. As a fan, as someone as a consumer, I'm tired of it. And sometimes I agree with the opinions they have. A lot of times I don't. But it's like you're not allowed to not agree. It's like you're not allowed to not like something. We always say, hey, you're allowed to like it. You're allowed not to like it. It's all good. But you are not allowed to not like something if they say you have to like it.
Yes, you are. And I think what we're seeing is a quiet revolt. We just did a video talking about Raya and the Last Dragon.
Revolution.
Yeah, massively underperforming. I think that part of it, might not be all of it, but I think part of it is quiet revolution. People being like, I'm not giving you any more of my money, Disney. I'm not, because look what you do. You shit on people and your people go out there and attack fans, and you know what? You're charging too much money and I don't care. Some
of these media outlets are vilifying fans for discussing theories on Twitter. Like, they never said that they were the actual things that were going to happen. They never demanded that was what's going to happen. They did like what most fandoms do, where, what do you think's going to happen next? Oh, I think it's this because I saw this, this, and this. Discussion, which normally happens to the fandom. You want that. But then we have articles attacking people for doing that. There's a difference between people having discussions and hoping it goes a certain way, or, I think it might happen this way or that way, and then flat out ruining characters from an existing franchise, and then people being upset about it. It's not the same thing.
No, and look, these media outlets are running out of steam. We've already seen it with Nerdist. I mean, Nerdist laid a bunch of people off. We saw Sci-Fi Wire shut down their Fangirls blog.
That, yeah.
Because
they were up, She-Ra's, Noelle Stevenson's ass like nothing.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what's going on? And MTV had MTV Geek for a while. Actually, I would say MTV Geek was a more legit geek blog than the ones that popped up after it. But they
that
shut
was
it
a different
down.
time.
It's a different time. And they shut that one down because it wasn't performing. And that's the thing. To these companies that own these blogs, they don't bring in enough revenue, and fans are leaving them. People are tuning out. They're like, we're tired of being screamed at, constantly assaulted with how awful we are. And
Meanwhile, we're probably going to have to, not yet, we're still working on the business end with our accountants and lawyers and stuff, but we're going to have to probably hire people because people are so thirsty for, outlets that aren't, painting everyone with a broad brush because they don't agree with them.
yeah, we're going to be ramping up. We've got Pirates and Princesses. We have another site in mind, and we are going to be looking for people. Not going to hire Huffington Post. No. Writers.
If you ever called us names, then you're not getting hired.
If you ever call us names,
but
we'll
it's
check.
I'm just tired of it. And like I said, I clearly marked an opinion because I didn't want to say it was news because it's not news. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's my blog, so I effing can do that.
Yeah, you can do whatever
it's my blog.
Whatever the hell you want.
But yeah, I'm just tired of everybody making assumptions about who you are based on whether or not you like Prom, or whether or not you like the new She-Ra series, or you like the old She-Ra series, or whether or not you had theories about WandaVision, or whether or not you like Luke Skywalker. I mean, they flipping call people basically racist trolls that believed in Aryan society because they liked Luke Skywalker. Was it this article? I think it was.
Yeah.
This bullshit article out there. It's like, they're so desperate for clicks. They're just putting whatever they can on there. And then the little bunny stuff, people are just like, why do you have to keep, toning everything down? They gave her big hips and no chest. She's still going to be sexualized because she has big damn hips.
Furries will find a way.
They will always find a way.
They always find a way. So, I mean, this is just a bunch of bullshit, and it is ramping up, and I do think it is because, I'll be honest, I think it's because Trump is out of office, and they beat what they consider to be the big bad they've been rallying against for 4+ years now, and now they're like, oh, shit. We need to make another boogeyman, so let's go after just run-of-the-mill conservatives now. Let's go after run-of-the-mill fans.
People who think it's stupid to cancel, to change the little bunny. People who think it's stupid about changing the Mr. Potato Head to the Potato Heads. People who think it's stupid for some of the choices that are being made. They're just like, you're all conservatives. It's like, I hate to break it to you, but there are a lot of people who aren't conservatives that think it's stupid.
That is true. I was just thinking, this is funny. Racist trolls may think they own Star Wars. Are you talking about Disney?
Yeah, no, everyone pointed that out. They said it's Disney, or I pointed out racist trolls think they own Star Wars, and I look at the media. Yeah, right. Because the media has perpetuated this divisionary shit. Disney, we're against racism, but that you allow other forms of racism to exist in your own people with their tweets. It's just, I'm just tired of it. Just, you all can just sit and spin because we're sick and tired of your crap.
All of the websites, all the magazines, and we're going to do a video talking about Nintendo, the Playing with Power documentary, which was really, really good. That's later. In this video, though, I'm talking about the fan magazines I grew up reading. Electronic Gaming Monthly started out as a fan magazine. Wizard Magazine started out as a fan magazine. A lot of the websites now.
Blogs started out as fan blogs.
Fan blogs, and then Nerdist. And then they got gobbled up by these corporations, and that's when they changed.
Disney owns a whole bunch, like Pop Sugar and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Guess who's tied? Disney has ownership stakes in these places,
And that's kind of when they started losing credibility because they were no longer unbiased. It wasn't actually fan-powered. It wasn't fan opinion. And,
it was a narrative. They're perpetuate narratives and be a glorified commercial.
Yeah, comic book resources. We make fun of CBR all the time, but it started out as a legitimately good fan-powered comic book site and forum. Mm-hmm. And then, they cashed out, and then it became what it is now, which is basically comic book BuzzFeed. Speaking of which, see how I did that? Mm-hmm. See how I did that? This is probably behind some of it. Because I think a lot of these digital journalists are looking at their situation. There have been massive, massive layoffs in digital media in the last couple of years, mm-hmm. and it was hastened by the lack of ad revenue because of the pandemic. And some of these journalists are getting paid ridiculous money. I mean, they're getting paid like 6-figure salaries. They're living in New York and San Francisco to write hit pieces on people. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, Huffington Post was not doing so good. BuzzFeed bought the Huffington Post and they just gutted it. So you're gonna have more salty, unemployed journalists, probably stirring shit up behind the scenes to the journalists that are still employed. But I think they're probably being told, get clicks, we don't care what you do. Because, I mean, look at The Guardian. You go all the way to the bottom here, they're begging for money.
No, not going to give you any. Sorry.
No.
Maybe they should learn to code.
Learn to code. You could build your own site if you learn to code. But yeah, Huffington Post. I mean, they just bought it in February. And they're gutting it already. HuffPost Canada is shuttering its operations.
Because these activist types, they don't want to build their own thing. They want to just go and squat on something that's already built for them, so they have a megaphone that they don't have to actually do any work for.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not going to go build their own sites.
Yeah. They said it's been a particularly grim year for the media industry.
Get ready. I think it's going to get grimmer.
Not for us. Grim. We can't keep up. I'm being honest. Like, we can't keep up with everything. The demand is there, but you know what? You don't attack people. And guess what? If you don't attack people, sometimes they come to your blogs and they watch your videos and they buy your shit.
People often say in the comments or to me on Twitter, whatever, well, I don't agree with you on that. And I like this. And I always say, that's cool. You're allowed
to. That's fine.
That's okay. You know what? I understand that you're allowed to like it. I respect that you like it. That's fine. You know, there's other things I'm sure we agree on, like, you know, like adults.
Yeah, and it used to be that, you know, a lot of the comic book forums and stuff like that, people would have these discussions. Now, if they get too heated, you know, the band hammer would come down, but people were allowed to be, disagreeable about stuff. That's part of nerd culture, but now it is a one-sided debate. These media outlets with, frankly, a lot of fake geeks.
You can't have a one-sided debate because that would imply that they have an opinion in it or have a say in it. They're just one side talking at people, calling these people names, and you're not allowed to fight back. Or you're just perpetuating that you are a misogynist, racist, istophobe because you dared fight back.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what's going on. And you have a lot of, I'm going to be honest, you have a lot of fake geeks working at these sites.
To get the platform.
To get the platform. And then you're not allowed to respond.
You're not allowed to call them fake geeks either because then you're being mean.
By the shit they write, it's obvious a lot of them are fake geeks. But look at this. They said they were going to try to make the Huffington Post profitable. It lost $20 million in 2020.
Oh.
Though BuzzFeed is profitable. BuzzFeed's not that profitable. No. BuzzFeed laid a bunch of people off.
I'm surprised BuzzFeed isn't out.
No. We don't have the resources to support another 2 years of losses.
Oh, so BuzzFeed might go out.
Yeah, so we want to ensure that the homepage remains a top destination on the internet. We also want to maintain high traffic, preserve your most powerful journalism.
Your most powerful journalism.
Lean more deeply into politics.
Oh, okay.
And build a stronger business for affiliate revenue and shopping content.
Shopping. Okay, translation. Their solution is to do political shit and have affiliate links. That's that when you translate what they're saying.
Yes.
10 reasons why BuzzFeed should go out of business and 0 why it shouldn't.
I know, right? So we're going to see more of this. If the Huffington Post and BuzzFeed can't make it work, do you really think sites like Inverse and Slate and these smaller, the Mary Sue, I'm waiting for the Mary Sue to fold because their Alexa ranking is dropping. Mm-hmm. Like, Pirates and Princesses gets more traffic than the Mary Sue.
They'll be like, oh my God, it's misogynist. But ironically, it's run by a man.
It is run by a man. A white man runs the Mary Sue.
I know, right?
But that's why they keep leaning more into the political stuff, the Trump stuff, the whatever, because they're hoping that they want the outrage. They want you to be outraged.
At least with Pirates and Princesses, it's run by a woman.
That's true. So support women-owned businesses.
That's right.
Support Geeky's blog. So anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, I think I said it all in that article. I was afraid I was all over the place, but you went and looked at it and said I wasn't. I had to write it a couple times because I kept taking these tangents I had to take out because it was like, wow, I'm just, I need to keep it to the point. But when I saw that in WandaVision, I don't need you to tell me who I am. That really resonated with me, and I put it on Twitter because that basically sums it up. I am so tired, and I'm sure a lot of you are tired of the media and Hollywood and Twitter and these activist types and extremists and, telling you who you are, who they think you are, who you should be because they said so. Because you like this, you obviously are this. And they don't know you. Stop telling me who I am. I know who I am. And I'm none of those things just because you don't like my opinion about She-Ra or whatever, or prom.
Yeah. It's ending. It has to end. Fans, look, there are way more of us than there are of them. Push back.
Well, obviously it's happening because that's why this stuff's not doing well.
Push back.
So, anyway.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.